All right, that's good to go.
All right. So just remember your courtesy. We will be opening up for some Q&A later. Try to keep your microphone muted. Other than that, enjoy the road. Tonight's gonna be a little bit different. I'm pretty excited. I wrote down some notes, and you guys know me by now. I'm not very good at reading along to my notes, so I'm gonna try not to butcher this, but I'm pretty dang excited. So I want to start off by saying happy holidays to everyone. Hope you had a great holiday. Happy New Year's. And welcome to a new decade. Wow. Another one. So this year, since ReAction fired up, the whole end of the year, second half of last year flew by for me. I don't know how it was for you guys, but it was exciting. I learned a lot, and I was able to accomplish quite a few lifelong goals and dreams that I had. Thank you to ReAction, My Life Simple. So I'm super pumped up about 2020 and the things that are coming, our future. It's going to be an exciting year. Big things are going to be coming down the pipeline. Amazing additions, as always, things that will come along to help us along our journeys. I'm pretty excited about that. So tonight I wrote down some notes of things that I want to talk about. So I want to talk about first is the vision, the 2020 vision, and the 99 BV, and the importance of that. The timing is now. As most of you know, and those of you that have experienced a little bit of success by using the 99 BV and the new Vision 2020, it's a pretty amazing gift, really, is what I like to consider it. It was a great addition that was added towards us, especially with the holiday season coming up. People are still, they were spending for the holidays, recovering. It's a great way to take advantage of that. Not to mention you're going to be locked in. So I'm going to touch on that in a minute. So what I did, I want to share a little bit about what I've been doing with the Vision 2020 and 99 BV, sorry about that, is called the people that have been struggling in the company and got them set back up. Several have signed up new ambassadors, 1 to 2 people, and really helped jumpstart them. So that has been really, really special, something that I've been able to sit here and help them with and watch them go from struggling to get that first person, a little bit on the negative side, to like somebody lit a firecracker off. That's pretty amazing. And then the second half of that is I was able to reach out to people that have fallen out of the company due to the cost of the simple ship or various reasons, and reignite that fire. That has been amazing. Be able to come back to them. They obviously joined the company and seen the vision and love the products, passionate about what it's done to them or people in their lives. Just due to that month-to-month simple ship, they're unfortunately not able to really afford it. So when we went back to them with the 99 BV, they were in shock and wow. It really, really helped them. So it's basically a fresh start for them. So the reason I bring this up is, we've had people that we've had join the company, we signed them up, they're fired up, and then they've fallen out. They're still in the company for 6 months. Things happen, various things happen in life to where, you may not be able to afford a simple ship this month, yada, yada, yada. This is going to help them so, so much. That's why I want to stress the importance of this. And I don't want to drag this out for a long time, but tonight I want to bring this all up. This is a new decade. And I think that with ReAction, My Life Simple, we're gonna look back at this decade and wow. That's all I can say. So there was 2 things that I've really been using towards this. Obviously the 99 BV, and then when you add the scripts into that. The scripts have been something that obviously they came out. Those have helped so much. All of our questions have been answered, literally by going in our back office, clicking on those scripts. While you're talking to someone, you can pull them up. All the rejections and things that people will bring up to you, the answers are right there. So I personally like to use Facebook Messenger. It's something where you're talking to people that are obviously following you and your brand, which is you. being able to go in there, it's all typing. And if you remember one thing, throughout this, when you reach out to people, the worst thing that they're ever going to say is no. That's all right. So a lot of these questions that they're going to bring up, you can literally go from Facebook Messengers, scroll over to your back office, look up the scripts, and find the objections and things that you're going to be able to answer right there, literally using copy and paste. That's how easy it is. So moving on, if you have any questions on that, I'm more than happy to help you guys. So another thing that I have been doing, speaking of Facebook, is I've had people that have actually been reaching out to me, which has been really, really cool. They see the testimonies, the different success that I've been having, and they're reaching out to me like, Billy, what are you doing? Or sending people to me that have people. Randall she's actually signed up as an ambassador now, came from a friend of a friend. That's what we're going to end up building up here. And the power of the social media is amazing. So make sure that you guys are on social media, staying active. I know through the holidays, I've taken a little break, so slap on my wrist, that's bad on me, but I'm going to get fired back up. And I want you guys I want to challenge all of you to use those tools. So those people that have been reaching out are not only people that I've personally signed up or potential retail customers, but other people's ambassadors, people from different downlines reaching out. It's amazing what we can do by that. The old days was pick up the phone and go face to face with people. Nowadays, you guys can do everything from sitting in a chair. That's pretty special. So another thing that I want to stress on is, as we get people to join us and join ReAction and My Life Simple, obviously we want them to do well as well as ourselves. So the best way to do this is, obviously, if you have someone in your downline that has a potential warm lead that wants to learn more about it, wants to get on the phone and talk, encourage them to do a 3-way call. That I've had a ton of success with, because they're comfortable with you, right? Your person that you signed up is comfortable with you. The person that's on the other end of the phone is comfortable with that person. You're there to be the mediator, pass along the information that you know, and really make that a comforting call for them. So as I tell everyone in this, we're all working together. So make sure that you're there as a support system. The way that I look at it, the bigger ReAction is, the easier my job is. So whether you're on my downline, upline, sideline, or whatever line you're on, I'm here to help you. I know that Jeff, Wendy, Jordan, Rachel, everybody, Kim Clayton, Brandy, there's so many great ambassadors that are in ReAction to My Life Simple that we need to really focus on moving forward in 2020 and this new decade, of using the help from each other. Lean on each other, learn something. Jeff may have way better techniques than I have on certain things, and I might have something that he can learn from me. We can all do that with each other. This isn't an individual sport. This is like we're one great football team that's looking to win the Super Bowl, but we're all together. There's amazing products out there. Don't get me wrong, but I believe with the ambassadors that are in ReAction and the products that we have, that I personally feel like are second to none. Moving forward, 2020 is going to be amazing in years to come. So this is just a start. So I want to talk a little bit more about the Vision 2020 and the 99BB. Just to clarify some things. When someone signs up or an ambassador, or even if they're not activated yet, don't have their 2 people, when you drop your simple ship to 99BV, again, that's 99. So when you get it to 99BV, you will remain at that point until you earn your first commissions check off the back office. So that's at 600 BV, and you have a person on your right and a person on your left. If that takes you 6 months, it takes you 6 months. If it takes you 6 years, it takes you 6 years. It's not gonna, because we're here to help you. But I just wanted to let you guys know that you're gonna be locked in at that 99 BV moving forward. The reason I say this, we have 3 weeks left on this promotion. So the time again is now. It's now to reach out to people, get them joined in, and really take advantage of that. To answer your next question, if you guys are curious of what happens after that point, after 99 BV, you start earning your first commissions check, you'll be moved back to 150 BV. At that point, a great starting point and goals, which I'm sure we're going to be talking about here in a little bit, is to make it to where you're earning enough income, residual income, to cover your simple ship. We have to start off by walking before we can run. So we'll get you started. We're here again to help you guys along the way with this. But I really believe that this 99 BV and the Vision 2020 is bigger than what we all think, as far as getting people to jump in and really take a shot at this journey. I want to bring up a cool story of something that happened to me and someone on my downline. She was struggling. Been in the company since August, struggling to get her first person, let alone her first two, to start earning, residual income. Called me up, wanted to cancel her simple ship. At that point, I took her from a negative, really told her about the Vision 2020 99 BV, lit a spark. From there, now her simple ship's down at 99 BV, saved her about $100 a month when you put that into real numbers. So we're saving a little bit of money there and lit a fire. That person has now went out and the other day signed up someone for the $12.99 package, working on 2 more. That spark that it lit up, they have the passion. I guarantee you, everyone in this company, if you don't right now, get these products in the people's hands around you, and you're going to build that passion. It's just something that you want to do. It's not something that no one's twisting your arm. The passion that you're going to build by seeing the testimonies and personal experiences from people in your lives or yourself, even by taking these products, is what's going to drive you. And it's as simple as talking to the people around you and sharing the products. That's how easy it is. And if there's something that's stumping you guys and holding you back, like Jeff said before, just send people to him. Take him up on that offer. Send people to me. Moving forward in 2020, I want you guys to really take advantage of the people that are here to help you, because I believe each and every one of you guys are there's so much potential. That's all I can say. So I'm gonna leave this to Jeff. Thank you guys so much, and I'm fired up.
Hey guys, welcome to 2020. Hope everybody had a wonderful and safe holiday. I don't know if you're like me, but I'm ready to get back to work. I think we all kind of experienced that part of the holidays. Reminded me when I was an actor in Los Angeles many years ago, and the holidays, just everything shut down, and I couldn't wait till the holidays were over, so we could get back to work. So here we are, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see where all of us are this time next year. It's really, regardless of how tough it's been for some of you. I know others are doing very, very well. I've got a saying, no ambassador left behind. So we're all in this together, and I really do think we've got some great things coming down the pike. As you know, before the holidays, I teased you with the upcoming quote unquote announcements that we had, and I just got the go ahead to announce one of them tonight, which is I think a really, really, really wonderful thing. Some of you have talked to me privately and asked me, and some of you might have a hunch, but we are adding a new product, and we are adding a line of gummies for everybody. I think that's really, really exciting, because there are certainly people, especially children, that respond to the gummies. I've personally tried them. They're really good. And I'll tell you, the part about sampling this product is, after having about 3 of these things, I was like, I can definitely feel the reaction. You know, just this great kind of, as I describe it, this kind of tingly warmth just kind of comes over me when I experience the product. So We've got those gummies coming out. I believe they're going to be 10 milligrams each per gummy, and they come in bottles of, I think there's 10 gummies, if I'm not mistaken. Our home office in Omaha can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we have bottles with 10 gummies each. So those will be out probably within, I would say, within the next 2 weeks. It could be sooner. We will let you know when they're done, but certainly within the next 2 weeks. So I'm as excited as announcing that as I was announcing the pet line and the 2020 vision. So stay tuned for those. That's going to be a wonderful addition, I think, to our product line. I wanted to just cover a little bit, cover what Billy was talking about the 2020 vision, the promotion. I too have had success. I've had a couple of people personally that I contacted and said, listen, we've dropped this thing until the end of January. We got this great promotion, and I shared it with them. And that extra $100 a month certainly meant a lot to them. There are people, I think, that would still be very much interested in the business and still very much interested in consuming the product as well. Certainly, that it was just difficult for them for that kind of outlay every month. So that extra $100 basically we knocked off the commitment is a wonderful thing for them. And I've had some people that have experienced success as well going out and sharing it, because it does again limit. It kind of just eases that obligation for people. And again, we're doing what we can, everything we can on the corporate side to again make it as easy as possible for you and make it easy as possible for others to get in and to experience some success. As I've said many times, to address Kim Clayton's statement there, yes, Kim, you're in trouble. As I've said, I just lost my train of thought, sorry. Anyway, so the 2020 vision, if there's any questions, like Billy said, please reach out. It really is a wonderful thing. This is what I was going to say. I've said this again and again. I don't know how many people have had experience in direct marketing before. My experience is limited, but I will tell you, even, and this came from Katie too, our director of marketing, who was with, as you all know, a really successful company for over 20 years. What we're doing on a corporate level from a direct marketing standpoint, nobody else has done. Nobody else is doing. Nobody is as concerned or as proactive with providing every advantage possible for this to succeed. And we continue to strive for that every single day. So I would encourage you to maybe reach out to people and share this promotion with them. And if you've had any people that have been forced to kind of take a break or take a hiatus from the business, you might want to reach out and say, listen, just want to let you know that this thing is in effect, and it really is a wonderful thing. So so that's it for the 2020 vision for now. A couple of new things as far as some documentation and some support tools. We received a new one-page business overview that is now live in your back office. If you go under library, I believe it's under business overview. And here it comes. We wanted to, again, provide you with, just like Katie has worked on the scripts for us, and we have different methods of imparting information and how much we impart to people. Again, the saying, you can't take a drink out of a fire hose because you don't want to overwhelm people. So even the 5-page PDF might be a bit much for people to digest. So whatever it takes to introduce them to something in the quickest, easiest way possible. And it's not designed to get them to sign up on the spot. It's designed to get them to the next step. Again, this is all about converting, and the conversion process has several steps to it. So this is a one-page business overview that if somebody says, do you have something you can send me? Or even if you reach out to people and say, listen, I'd like to put some material in your hands. Would you take a look at it if I send it to you? You send this, and hopefully it's a real, easily digestible, introduction to what we're doing. It's not heavily product driven. There's plenty of information on the back office, as you know, to get that information and share that. We are working on a slide presentation that will accompany the one-page business overview. So if you are on a Zoom conference with somebody or you're sitting down with somebody, you will have everything that you need to basically present the business in a real, simple, again, easy to understand way. And again, we're trying to make it so that for those of you that are uncomfortable or don't feel like you're good, again, salesmen, we're trying to do as much of the work as possible on our end that helps you share the product and certainly share the business information. So that's something that I'm proud of. The one-page business overview. We will keep you all posted on when the slideshow is ready as well. And we do have some other videos, some really cool videos coming out shortly as well. I know Rachel just mentioned the postcards. I don't know if Billy discussed that or if I missed it, but that's another technique, guys. You know, it comes down to a couple of things. There's three kinds of people when you're looking at this type of endeavor. There's people you know really well, there's people you know but not well, and there's people you don't know at all. And so what happens is if people kind of exhaust the people that are close to them, they kind of get stuck and they kind of get mired in, okay, what do I do next? So it's a little tricky when you start talking about reaching people who you don't know very well, because you don't want to, look like, too opportunistic, and you haven't talked to them in 10 years and hey, now this is a great business opportunity. That's one of the digs against direct marketing, certainly, is how people come out of the woodwork. But again, through other campaigns, whether it's Facebook or things like that, you can expand that to people that you don't know well, and again, use some attraction marketing hopefully to pull them in. Postcards are also a great idea. Whether you send them out to people, whether you drop them off, I will tell you that we're planning another event here on January 22nd, which is going to be one of the good old-fashioned business presentations. We've done meetings that have been heavily product-driven. We've done a couple of meetings over the last couple of weeks where we're sharing information and content about anxiety and stress, and then offering up some ways that ReAction might help with that. But we're going to go back to the good old-fashioned approach, which is we're going to be doing what should amount to maybe no more than a 30 or 40-minute presentation, an overview of the products, an overview of the company, and an overview of the business in 40 minutes. And one of the things we're going to be doing is we're going to be canvassing the area. We're going to see about putting some ads in the local newspapers. And we've got some flyers that we might be able to make available to everybody, that if you were interested in setting something like this up in your area, whether we get a mailing list, and there's all kinds of options with mailing lists. You can even go to the post office and I think pay for a certain area for them to actually include it in the mail. I think it's called every door delivery or something like that. And so then it becomes about about reaching the biggest number of people with your efforts. And here's what I know. It's very, very, I won't say it's very difficult, but it's more challenging when it's just you and one other person. As I've said, I've talked to people that I've talked to them about it for 5 months. But something happens when there's a collective energy involved. So when you get in a room and there's 20 people there, or 30 or 40, or imagine even more, there's an energy that comes with that. And for some reason, some of my friends get more excited about it. And it's like I never talked to them about it before. It's like, I've been talking about this for 6 months. But when they're around other people that are getting excited about it, that's very infectious. So I encourage everybody to start thinking about, how they can maybe put together, some sort of meeting, in the area, and be creative about your efforts. Again, it's not about, spending a lot of money, but it does require some effort if you want to approach something like this. So that is that for that. We are doing a giveaway tonight, folks. We are going to give away a Renew Salve, and we are also going to give away one of the 500 milligram orange tinctures as well. So all that's really, really, really exciting stuff. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit tonight about in the announcement that went out. I refer to it as incremental goals. That's a term that can be used. We can get the slideshow PowerPoint ready to pull up. I designed this PowerPoint presentation tonight to go along with what I'm talking about, because I realized that a lot of people go back and watch these things. They've mentioned to me they go back and watch it. So it's really good to have this. And if anybody wants this PowerPoint, reach out to me. And I'll send you the PowerPoint. You don't even need to watch the Zoom. I'll send you the PowerPoint if there's any information in here that you find particularly valuable. I think is really, really important, and it's a great way to start off the new year. I don't know how old everybody is. I think we have got a range of ages, but when I was growing up in the 70s, there was a comic named Steve Martin. So for those of you that know who Steve Martin is, he had an album, a comedy album, and it was called Let's Get Small. So that's what I've decided to call tonight's conversation, is we're going to call it Let's Get Small. Let's go to the next slide. Again, I've got a lot of slides that are really just going to reflect what I'm going to talk about, and maybe word for word. So goals in writing are dreams with deadlines. We've talked about that in the past as far as setting goals, and we talked about writing them down because they make them real. This is a quote that kind of confirms that. So let's talk about goals. Okay, we've talked about them a lot. We've talked about setting goals. We've talked about visions. We've talked a lot about setting goals. But what if you're somebody who struggles with achieving your goals? How many of us have set goals with this business or with other things in life and we haven't achieved them? I know I have. So what's standing in our way when it comes to goals? Because, you know, what good is a goal if we set it and then we don't do it? You know, are the goals too big? Do we have bad luck? In this case, in this business, is it because, well, you're not a very good salesman, don't know how to talk about it, etc.? Or the last one, it seems to imply that if you can't do your goals, and you hear this all the time in seminars and stuff like that. Well, you know, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Heck, I've even said that to all of y'all. Is it that you just don't want it bad enough? Nope. It's probably none of those things. The greatest problem that's been preventing you, and I'll say me too, from preventing us from accomplishing our biggest goals is that we're not thinking small enough. And yep, that's right. We're not thinking small enough. So the typical path that people talk about, and heck, I know we've talked about some of these things too a month ago. And here's the way I look at this, guys. Some of this information might sound on the surface a bit contradictory. It's not. It's like two people who start off like, let's look at the face of a clock, for instance. And two people are standing at the 12. And one person stays there. They stay in their small town. They never leave. They never risk. They just stay at 12. And the other person goes out and travels the world and does things and explores and risks and succeeds and fails and experiences and comes back and winds up back in his small town 30 years later. They're both standing on the 12, but I guarantee you that other person that went out and did all those things is in a totally different place for a totally different reason. So a lot of the stuff we're saying here can only be talked about because of what we talked about a month ago. So the typical path somebody will teach you when it comes to setting goals is, number one, decide what you want. Number two, make it real. Proclaim to your, to your people around you, to people in your life, saying, this is what I'm going to do, because it, maybe makes you more accountable to yourself because you're actually putting it out there and saying, hey, everybody, this is what I'm doing. Number three, they have you set a deadline. Number four, break down the goal into smaller steps. Number five, identify somebody who's accomplished a similar goal, model their attitude and belief system. Number six, talk about believe it's possible. Here's the trick. Number seven, take massive action. It's got all those things, 1 through 6, and then 7, then take massive action, because of the goals that you've set generally are big goals that require big actions. And then number 8, of course, repeat 6 and 7 every day. Let's go to the next slide. As I've said, and we talked about in the past, there's nothing wrong with these steps. They work. They do work. But the problem, the challenge, lies in believing that the goals we set are even possible for us. And that's what we do. Regardless of how big or small they might be actually very, very reasonable. But if they're not possible, they're not achievable, that's where we get the challenge. Because, again, belief is like a muscle. And unless it's developed, it remains weak, small, and basically useless. And there's a I think an ongoing or progressive kind of disappointment and guilt that comes when we set goals and we don't achieve them. But when we set large goals, what we require is we have to have an equally large belief system to support it. I hope this makes sense. So big goals, big belief, okay? And it doesn't matter how much somebody wants it. It doesn't matter how much we go out and scream it from the mountaintops or how much we proclaim it. All that matters is how much we believe it, okay? So your goals have to be matched by the depth or the level of your belief. And it's the true belief that affects all of our actions. What happens, however, if we have big goals and a small belief? And I don't know, I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking about anybody else right now, but you can look at this and you can know whether this applies to you or not. It's easy to have big goals. It's not so easy to have a big belief. So what you get is when you have a big goal but a small belief, you set a big goal, again, usually the same goal you've been promising yourself for years. And I'm saying this around the new year for a reason, because pretty much everybody's New Year resolutions fall into this category. Okay, set a big goal for ourselves. We say we just need to get motivated, or I've really got to want it this time. It's really going to happen this time. I'm really going to do it this time. We map out what we need to do. We take a couple of steps, and then number 5, splat. We face our first trial. We miss our first deadline. We don't accomplish or achieve our goal. And that sets in motion a series of events. We basically start spiraling off course. I know that happens to a lot of people in this business, because they get in and their first goal is something that's not really attainable based on the proportionate effort. What happens is we then go splat, because stuff comes up, circumstances come up out of nowhere, friends call us, there's distractions, splurging on the late night ice cream if you're trying to lose weight, or we're having computer problems, Wi-Fi problems. We've got life. We've all got life, and things come up. We get distracted, and we struggle to keep up with life. And then what happens? It leads to a guilt. And this is a very real thing. When we set goals for ourselves and we don't achieve them, it leads to guilt or feelings of failure. Shifts to a feeling that it's a sign of some sort, that, I'm not very good at this, or, well, here we go again, or, it's not the right time, I'll start again next week. So this kind of thinking, and again, tell me if anybody recognizes themselves in this. This kind of thinking can turn a person who is passionate, motivated, driven, enthusiastic, excited, all in, into a disillusioned goal setter who finds his or herself, ourselves, having created another goal that are just like all the other goals, but it only produces more disappointment. So what's the solution? Start thinking small. The power of thinking small, it's start with a small goal. And I'm talking super small, uber small, really, really small. And again, this is different than breaking a goal, big goal down into steps or smaller pieces. Smaller pieces, that would be a step. This is not breaking down a big goal into steps. This is setting smaller goals. We're going to talk about it in a second, but the power of setting a smaller goal is when you achieve it, is what that creates. So if you're dieting, for instance, if your goal is to lose 50 pounds, turn it into eat one healthy breakfast this week. That's a small goal. You're not trying to lose 50 pounds by the end of the week. If your goal is to start a business, change it to interview one business owner. If we're talking about this specific business specifically, make a phone call, send out an email, and make that a goal. Write that down. I'm going to contact one person. And guys, this is where you need to be honest with yourselves. Don't set a goal that you cannot attain. Don't say I'm going to talk to 5 people a day if you can't talk to 5 people a day. It's just going to lead to feelings of failure and guilt. You don't owe anything to anybody except yourself with this business. So set a goal that you can reach, even if that's something small. It's just like quantum physics now, it's about the little things. So if your goal is 1 person a week, then that's your goal. You don't have to feel bad because other people are out killing this or talking to 20 people a day or setting up meetings. You need to do this for you. So thinking big and having big dreams is great, but this is about creating momentum and confidence. That's what happens when you set small goals and you reach them. It's about creating momentum and confidence. That's what happens. And accomplishing a goal, like I said, this is not about a step towards a bigger goal. This is about an individual, specific goal. Accomplishing a goal is a lot better than taking a step, especially for those of us who have been in the business of large goal setting and achieving. And the purpose of these smaller goals is not that they get you closer to your goal. They will, I believe, but that's not the purpose. The purpose of these smaller goals is to develop the skill of belief. It is a skill. Like we said, it's a muscle. So that's what this is designed to do for you by thinking smaller. It's going to help you develop the skill of belief by achieving goals. And again, building momentum and confidence. And the belief that you can accomplish goals, not just steps. So here's the revised goal setting list. Okay? Different than the other one. Different than the one we talked about a few minutes ago or the one we talked about a month ago. Okay? Number 1, review all the goals you've set in the past but you didn't accomplish. I don't know if you need to review all of them, but review some of them, most of them. Basically, pick one goal from that list that you'd still like to accomplish and boil it down to a smaller goal. Something that you can accomplish in 3 to 7 days, and that's the important part here. Regardless of how small it is, make it something that you can do in the next day or two. So like tomorrow, when you get off this Zoom tonight, think, what is something small that I can do tomorrow that's going to further my belief in myself or my business? One thing. Is it a phone call? Is it an email? Is it researching? Is it making a call to somebody? Meaning reaching out for help? What is it? Number 4, take action and complete it. 5, pick another small goal. 6, get that one done too. Do this until you got 3 to 5, smaller goals under your belt, each of which are a little bit bigger than the one before it, and ultimately you go after your big goal because you've created momentum for yourself. As we know, it's a lot easier to start going up a large hill, even uphill a large hill, with momentum. The same goes for achieving large goals. And true motivation is the result of momentum. How many people really can stay fully motivated if they are unable to create momentum for themselves? So true motivation is the result of momentum. It's organic motivation. It's a gift. And you don't have to spend any money to get motivated. You simply need to do something. You simply need to get moving in a small, small way. So keep this one small fact in mind. People don't necessarily set out to start 7-figure businesses. Some people simply begin doing something to make a few $100, pay their rent, their car payment, mortgage, whatever it is. But what happens is that something turns into something else, which begins to gather momentum. And then that turns into something much bigger. But again, it's all those small goals. So we'll finish with this. It's great to have big goals for our businesses and our lives, but it's the momentum that we create that gives us the confidence and the belief that we can reach them. I think that may be was that the last slide, or was there one other slide? I think that may be it. Anyway, I think this is I hope you guys got as much out of this as I did putting it together for everybody, because I think it's a really, really important lesson going forward. And boy, just there's so many, to me, there's so many nuggets in there as far as the different components of not only the benefits of goal setting and achieving, but um, moreover, what happens? What happens in a devastating way when you set unrealistic goals for yourselves and you don't reach them? As I said, the feelings that come in of oh, it's just one more thing that, and again, you lose faith in yourself and you start feeling guilty. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to encourage everybody to type in here thoughts or comments. And this is an open forum. So again, this is not about sounding smart or anything. This is about really sharing. And you never know when you ask a question or say something, if you don't want to speak up, how that might actually help somebody else who might be feeling it's experiencing the same thing. So are there any questions? Any comments?
Yeah.
You can write them on the chat bar too.
I wanna touch on that real quick too, and just share a personal story on that. I love the message of keeping it small. When I started ReAction, I was on it like a damn chihuahua, biting ankles and running here and there and everywhere, up and down. I reached out to a guy that I went to school with. Had no idea that he was big into the sales world. I never even seen it coming. So when I reached out to him, I told him about this opportunity and that we could make millions and buying boats and yachts and big houses. And he simply replied to me, "Billy, quit trying to pitch me out like this. What if I only want to be able to buy my groceries or take my family on a small vacation or buy small things?" That day opened my eyes more than anything. And it was a huge lesson that I learned just by doing that. It kind of goes back to, you're going to learn so many things as you move on with this. But I just wanted to touch on that with keeping it small. I love that. It's just one day at a time, one person at a time, and building this up and learning.
It really is. Keep it simple. Not only for the explanation of this and sharing this opportunity and the product with other people, but keep it simple for yourself too, and give yourself a break. You know what I mean? I think I'm not sure, was it Kim or who just said the thing about the postcards, about the mailing lists? Again, this is not encouraging everybody to go out and, spend more money, but you can Google mailing lists, for instance. And they have targeted mailing lists too. You can get people in senior citizen communities or a particular neighborhood or a particular zip code. If anybody's up for this, look into, again, talking to the post office about what they have with the every door delivery within a certain zip code. You take your postcards printed up, take them to the post office, they deliver them, and you put a tentative hold on a hotel meeting room, and say we're going to have a meeting about CBD, FSE, and a ReAction product, and a wonderful business opportunity. The question, and I always come back to this at the end of the day when I put my head on my pillow, the question is, did I do everything I can today? And by the way, some days I don't do a daggone thing. Some days I lay on the couch on Sundays and watch football all day. But the point is, I don't beat myself up on Sunday night. So there's lots of different options. And so mailing lists, postcards. Again, if anybody has anybody that's interested and can, hop on a Zoom, Billy's more than happy to do it. I'm happy to do it. And if, again, as I've said, if anybody is able to put together a meeting of like 20 people or more in their area, regardless of where you are, somebody will come in and do the meeting with you. And again, I say this, some people are a little hesitant because they don't want to think somebody's going to come in and, pressure their friends. I think everybody kind of gets a sense of the style and the culture that we're creating with the company, that they should know that we're not going to hold your friends hostage, that it's really going to be an informational forum for sharing and things like that, and presenting them this great opportunity.
Yeah, last month I actually flew to Illinois and did a little small meeting with some friends of mine, and then some people that they had interested, and it was in a paint shop. Set up a little table. I used the videos that are available in the back office just to simplify things and see if I could do it I like to do this as we go, and all the new tools that are coming out that are here to help us. I like to use them in a real situation, just to better prepare myself to answer questions, to be able to help each and every one of you guys as we continue to move on and grow. I literally used the tincture video. Well, I started off by using the about the company, then moved on to watch a few product videos, and then the compensation video plan. It was simple. So like Jeff said, just use those tools, and it's really a comfortable environment, because when you think about it, we're doing this on a personal level. So we're working with people that know us or know somebody that we know. So we're more than welcome, or more than happy to help you guys in the same situation and get a little group together. I challenge you guys, if you can approach Jeff or I or many others in the company with 10, 20 people you have rounded up, that you round up your troops and they're willing to hear a little bit more about ReAction and My Life Simple, we will be there in a heartbeat.
And again, that's an example. And the goals are very they're very subjective. You know, somebody's small goal might be getting their first 2 people. For other people that are having challenges or finding it difficult to get their first 2 people, maybe their goal isn't 2 people, or their goal is 1 person. Maybe their goal isn't even signing anybody up, but rather saying, I'm going to introduce 1 person this week to the business, or 1 person. I'm going to get 1 person on a Zoom call, or I'm going to do a Facebook Live, or I'm going to get 1 person on the weekly Zoom with us. You know, again, like I said, be reasonable with your goals, but set them.
Yeah,
and they can be small.
Yeah.
So,
I want to talk
anyway.
about the postcards, because I jumped over that, Jeff. Sorry about that. So I just recently got my postcards printed off at Staples. Working on getting a target list put together. I'm personally going to target the elderly community. Now, when you're talking about target markets, obviously you can look at the business opportunity or retail customers. I'm going to target the elderly community with potential of building retail customers off of that, just to get started and try it out. And then obviously you're going to target different areas for the business side of it, or hell, you might even just target it all. It's up to you, but have a little bit of fun with it. There's ways to do it that is inexpensive, just like Jeff mentioned. But definitely the postcards are huge. Another thing that I wrote down that I didn't tell you guys is that I've been putting the brochures out. I bought that I told you guys a while back about the Dymo printer on Amazon, pretty cheap. And on the back of the brochure, it's the 3-page trifolds. I put my sticker on the back where there's a white box, and bought some little trifold stands, and I've been putting in places that'll allow me to do that. But again, when we're doing this, we all know people with small businesses in our communities that would be more than happy to let us put some brochures up at their place. So if you haven't done that, or if you need help getting started on that, let me know, and I'll help you guys out.
Very cool. If anybody has any other comments, oh, there we go. Roxy Kramer, the postcards are amazing. Awesome. Thank you for that, Roxy. We're going to go ahead and announce the winners of tonight's drawing. If you have any questions, feel free to jump in or write them in the chat bar. The winner tonight of the orange tincture is Main Street FSE, Chuck. I saw the name on there. Right. Chuck, we need to know your full name so we can find your address and send you your orange tincture. So if you're there, write it in the chat bar. Or if you don't know how to do the chat thing, then and it works for neuropathy. Awesome.
Thank you, Maggie.
Maggie, what are you using? Oh, there we go, right there. Main Street Chuck. We'll get back to you, Maggie, in a second. Never mind, I got the name. That was a private message, but I'll get that to you guys. And Maggie said it works for neuropathy. What are you using for the neuropathy? Are you talking about your feet or hands? Using the cream, and which one, Maggie? Feet. Okay. Would you have like peripheral neuropathy? Is that what you've got in your feet? And which cream, which product are you actually using on there? Because I know a lot of people that suffer from that. I have horrible feet. Cool. Well, Maggie, thank you for sharing that. That's the winner of the orange tincture. The winner of the Renew Salve tonight is Brett. Oh, there's the Okay, there's Maggie saying the recovery. Brett,
Oh,
winner of the salve. Do we know Brett? Everybody know Brett?
yes.
Name there?
Brett, actually, this will be good for Brett. I've actually been wanting to reach out to him and follow up on Renew. Brett has psoriasis, so this will be a huge thing. Thank you, ReAction. It's going to be good for all of us.
Brett and Brandon, congratulations on your win. And Maggie, thank you for that, for sharing that about your mom. She's had peripheral neuropathy for 10 years, and she's using the recovery cream and experiencing some positive benefits. There we go. Awesome. Yeah, and by the way, we put this out. If anybody has, again, testimonies, please send them in. We can use all that we get. We're always interested in hearing how people are benefiting from using the products. And, I also encourage you to, for those of you that are experiencing some success in the business or other people who have something good to say, reviews about the company and about your experience so far. If it's a good one, go ahead and send it in. If it's not, how about those Panthers? So yeah, if you have anything good to say that we can share and put on the website and that kind of stuff, please. And on that note, it's about 9 o'clock. We keep trying to get this down to 30, 40 minutes, and I get talking and I just can't help myself. Anyway, reach out to us with any comments, questions, any ways we can help. I hope everybody has a great week. Set yourself some small goals. We got 7 days till we come back and meet again next Tuesday's Zoom. Set some small goals, and I want you to come next week and actually share some of the success stories of this week. Okay, set some small goals and share your progress.
Hey, real quick too, Jeff. I just put my name and number on here, so I encourage everybody to reach out to me. I'm sure Jeff would be doing the same thing. Send me a text. That way I have your contact info and lean on me. Roxy, you can see that she wrote in there that she leans on me a lot. I'm here to help. So I want to put that forward, moving forward, new decade, 2020 vision. So reach out to me and go ahead, Jeff.
The last question was, Roxy had a question about why only 10 in the bottle. Again, the home office can correct me here if they want to jump in. I think number one is we want to keep them at a similar price point as the other edibles were. So I think it has more to do with keeping the cost at a certain price point. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you would like 20, then we can always buy 2 bottles, I guess. 10 milligrams per gummy, and we hope to have more to come. Okay. Okay, cool. So that's this is a first step, certainly. So, all right. So we'll be announcing that the gummies are out and live and available for order in the next week. Set your goals, knock them down, and we'll get back with everybody next week. Have a great week, and let's take no prisoners here in 2020. Good night, everybody.
Have a good night.